And good morning, everybody. Welcome, Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Bruce, how are you this morning? How was your trip back from Oregon?
It was long, but pretty uneventful, and glad to be back just in time for a little controversy at 20th and Blake. The countdown to kickoff is on. Time management issues at the University of Colorado. My God, Eric, I take off and the world starts to fall apart, much to our delight, because it gives us plenty of fodder here on Hot Takes with Goodman and Haertl.
Yeah, we certainly have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I want to tell you about Roller Auction, the leader in Colorado auctions for over 45 years. Tomorrow, the Larkspur Outlet and Home Improvement Store having an auction for wood, fencing, decking, bathroom, kitchen, and laundry room accessories, light fixtures, contractor tools, and more. Online bidding has started right now at rollerauction.com. To learn about upcoming auctions, go to rollerauction.com. Get what you want at the price you want today at Roller Auction. Time now for the lead.
The lead is presented by Smokin' Dave's Barbecue. It is not just the best barbecue in town, it is one of the best restaurants in town. You can find Smokin' Dave's Barbecue off 36th and Pecos.
Okay, so Rocky season, ugly already, took another turn for the worse last night when Giants designated hitter Rafael Devers smacked a 2-run ding-dong off of Kyle Freeland the first inning last night. Devers admired his home run. Slow trot to first base. Freeland, all pissed off about it, started yelling at Devers as he was admiring his moonshot. This led to a bases-clearing incident. So what did Giants starting pitcher Logan Webb think of the incident?
Surprised it hasn't happened before with that guy. So just kind of runs his mouth a lot of times, and Rafi got him good. So whatever.
We all look at Freeland as a nice guy, a tough guy, a bulldog. I think that's why. Way back in the day, I think it was like 50 years ago when he started, I believe, in Chicago against the Cubs in that one-game playoff. Right. Yeah. You know, they loved his mentality. I didn't realize that he was the type of guy that chirped a lot on the mound.
He is a talker, but he's an old-school talker. This is a very old-school notion. And I'm glad we're talking about it a little bit because I think it underscores a broader thing in our culture today. But I will say this. Devers hit a bomb, 8 pitches in. I get it. He hit it a long way.
Yeah.
It's fun. And I get, we live in a different world, but don't show up your pitch. Don't show up the pitcher. Be respectful of the game. This is the game that I was brought up in. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the game that it is now. Times have changed, and I appreciate that. We celebrate. There's more self-expression, all of these things. I don't need to be, I guess, a fuddy-duddy or worse as it relates to old school with baseball, but there's no reason to sit there and embarrass the pitcher. You hit a home run. Congratulations. You did your job. Get around the base paths and let's go play baseball.
Okay. Let me spin it differently,
sure.
Mr. Old School Guy, and I am to an extent. In the NFL, when a team is up, let's say, I don't know, 4 touchdowns with 7 minutes to play, and the team that's up puts in its backups and starts throwing the ball around, isn't your answer, well, the defense should just stop them?
Yeah.
It's professional sports.
It is.
Hold on.
Right.
Not college sports,
yep.
Not high school sports. This is professional baseball, period. My answer is don't groove one to them. If you don't like the result, don't start the fire.
It's a little different or a lot different for me.
No, it's a little, Bruce, it's a little bit different because of the sacred rules of baseball.
What about just common decency? What about just treating a fellow professional with some degree of respect? What about treating each other in our daily lives with a certain degree of respect? These are things that I think in a broader scope, are under siege and are being threatened in our day and age. It's just distasteful to me. It's unfortunate to me. There is some common decency that I think was just kind of part of living and part of being a good citizen that is waning in this day and age. Look, I'm not saying that Rafael Devers' home run against Kyle Freeland is a reflection of what's going on in America and in other places. I'm not trying to make that connection.
Right.
I'm just saying I get it. I mean, the Rockies have given up more runs in the first inning than any team in baseball by a fair shout, almost 60% more than the next team in baseball have given up in the first inning. And Kyle Freeland has been amongst one of the worst in that regard. I get it. Do your job better. And I know that what you're saying is making a point, and it's hard to push back on it. Do your job better, but react to it better as well. Come on.
Let me throw another example at you. Let's say when Michael Jordan played back in the day, or move it ahead to LeBron James, Steph Curry, whoever it is. There's plenty of shit talking going on the floor, isn't there?
Sure.
Is that disrespectful?
I don't know.
Or is it part of the game?
I think that's part of the culture, certainly, of the game. Yes. I see that. I don't know if this was an incident happening and then reacting to the incident. I don't think that Kyle Freeland was talking trash to Rafael Devers before he threw the first pitch, and I don't think that Rafael Devers was going to the plate, going all Babe Ruth 1932 World Series with a point to center field. So to me, there's a little bit difference there. It was the reaction to the way that Devers celebrated the home run.
He bat flipped, which happens.
Yeah,
He stared at it, which happens. Yep. I don't think he looked at Freeland and pointed at him.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so he admired his own work. He didn't look at Freeland and say, "You suck. You grooved one to me." But I want to go back to this baseball thing, and specifically this basketball thing. How many times have you seen a guy dribble the ball down the floor, shit-talking his defender, buries a three in the guy's face, and points right at the guy right after he hits the shot?
Yeah.
If you want to call it part of the culture, that's fine. I call it part of the culture of professional sports. I call it part of the culture of entertainment in sports. He didn't personalize it with Freeland. Get some thicker skin. If he looked at Freeland and said, "You stink," difference. He didn't point at Freeland. Just like in an NBA game, you pointed the defender. You shit talk the defender. You see that stuff happen all the time. The problem that we have with baseball is it's some sacred cow with all of these wonderful rules that we need to go back 100 years and it needs to be embraced as our national pastime. The game has evolved. And if you don't like a guy showing you up, throw a better pitch. It's professional baseball. If this is college baseball, I'm with you. High school baseball, I'm with you. Little league baseball, I'm with you. These are professionals.
Yeah.
He didn't call out Freeland.
Yeah, as long as he's fine with getting the tower buzzed the next time he steps in there, because that would have been worth about a 95-mile-an-hour fastball up high and tight. So, I mean, there are ways that you can go ahead and respond to that, and I think that's worth the question of debate as well. How do you respond once something like this happens? Do you have a short memory, or is this something or other that festers? My point is, it's not necessary. It's not a big deal to me. I would have probably, if I had been playing shortstop, and had seen a guy do that, I would have probably said, as he was going by, hell of a moonshot, get your ass in the dugout, something like that, and if it resulted in a, FU and an altercation, then so be it. It's not like I wasn't in a few dust ups in my day anyway. So I get it. I just think that being respectful is not that hard to do. Even if you're admiring your work, get down the damn base path and get around the bases. That's all I'm saying.
Team sports is about emotion. Emotions happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, if he disrespected Freeland personally, saying something about his mother, I'm with you. Okay. He admired his own work. But here's something else that you said. And I can promise you I am on my own island about this. And I don't back down from it. And I believe it. And I mean it wholeheartedly. You just said, well, next time he comes to the plate, maybe, Freeland will buzz him with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. In basketball, when you shit talk a player, is there any danger to that? Any real danger? It's words, right? It's words.
Yeah.
It's a simple yes or no. If I say you stink, is that violent? Is that assault?
You stink? No. Obviously
okay, good.
Not. Right.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that, and you're going to think I'm out of my tree on this. If you buzz somebody with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, has that become a weapon?
That's a fair argument. It depends where you throw it and how you
If you buzz somebody in the tower, meaning the head, and you accidentally hit them, is that assault?
Well, you don't want to hit him in the head, but you want to.
Okay, you don't want to, Bruce, but you might.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen plenty of pitchers who have hit batters when they haven't meant to hit them.
Sure.
I mean, if you had that great a control, you wouldn't have an ERA.
Well, pitching inside is part of baseball.
I understand that. Pitching inside is part of baseball. Intentionally throwing right near somebody's head is intentional. But there is a difference. Yes. When you're trying to back somebody off of the plate, I'm with you. Nolan Ryan used to do it all the time.
Bob Gibson was the most famous for it. He just would absolutely throw it up under your chin. I'm not an advocate of throwing it up around the head. And for the reasons, for the reasons that you're intimating, but there are different ways that you can do it and make a very strong point.
Bruce, I'm not trying to get pedantic with the words here. You said it, not me. Buzzing the tower. That is code for headhunting. You're not trying to hit the guy, but you want to send a message. Is that right?
Yes, and I don't have a problem with that. You don't have to throw at the head. Well,
but guys do.
Yes.
But guys do. And what is a 95-mile-per-hour fastball? That is a weapon. Mm-hmm. That is dangerous. Mm-hmm. That can put somebody in the hospital.
So are high spikes at second base.
I understand that, Ty Cobb, but doesn't really happen that much anymore. Ooh. And oh, by the way, the spikes aren't metal anymore.
Yeah.
There's a difference. So this is my point in all of this. If you are a pitcher and you feel you want to prove your point because you're all butthurt that a guy grooved a pitch out of the yard because you made a bad pitch and he didn't say anything to you personally, he just admired his work. Ready for it? If that pitcher is going to use that ball as a weapon, that batter has every right to use his weapon, which is a bat. And he should be able to charge the mound and start swinging away. You assaulted me, or at least you tried to, by buzzing my tower, and I got a bat in my hand, and I'm going to retaliate. And there should be absolutely no it's one and the same to me. What is the difference between getting hit in the head with a 95-mile-per-hour fastball or somebody swinging a bat at you?
Okay, you're making it sound as if I'm advocating throwing at someone's head.
I'm not advocating it. It happens.
It does happen.
This is part of the culture of baseball. You know that, and I know that. So I would say to any pitcher, or I would say, I'd be more than happy to stand up in front of the union and say, listen, if you're upset as a pitcher and you want to use your weapon to intimidate and potentially hurt someone, that batter has a right to charge the mound with the bat in his hand. There's no difference. They are both weapons. And I will ask you, what would hurt more, a 95-mile-per-hour fastball to the face or a bat to the face? I would argue it's negligible. Isn't it?
Yeah. Probably need to not get to that point. Maybe we could start by not admiring our home runs quite so much. You're not going to move me off center on this one, Eric.
That's fine. That's fine. Then NFL players should not admire their own.
Nope.
Don't admire.
It's not an apples to apples thing. This is it's not an apples to apples thing. I mean, when was the last time that we saw on the field in the NFL someone saying, "Hey, respect your opponent"? I mean, it's a physical game. There's violence on every single play in the National Football League.
Yep.
Every play is a car wreck. Every single play. 8 or 9 places on the field, right? So, and to your point, and I am on your side on this part of the equation. You got to be careful about the sanctity of baseball tradition.
Give me that. See, that's where you lost me. The sanctity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't lose you. I'm on your side. I just got done saying I'm on your side on that. I'm willing to listen to that part of the argument. However, I will say that the optics. Look, Kyle Freeland didn't handle it well, in my opinion. But I think that he was within his rights to react to it the way that he did. I wasn't on the field. I don't know what was said. I don't know if Devers said something or other as he was going down to first. I don't know anything about that. I wasn't on the field. I know this. You just traditionally, and maybe tradition just doesn't count for anything. No. You don't respect your opponent. Well,
happens in all sports.
Yeah, well, but that doesn't make it acceptable, and it doesn't make it excusable. So we should strive to be better about things like that.
So let me ask you then, Bruce, should all the professional athletes be gentlemen golfers out there, where they don't talk and nobody can talk during their shot and there's no shit talking at all? Here's the thing.
How much shit talking is there in golf, Eric?
Zero. That's my point. That's my point. So do we want to turn?
They seem to get it right.
Do we want to turn baseball and hockey and basketball and football into a gentleman's sport like golf? Because that's what I'm hearing that you are suggesting.
We should
just play nice out there.
No, I think you should play respectfully. There's a difference between playing nice and your demeaning of it. You're kind of. I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing respectfully. There's nothing wrong with being a good competitor. There's nothing wrong with it.
So then let me ask you.
I'm fine with demonstrations of excitement and celebration. That's fine. But I don't like things that disrespect your opponent. I don't like that's my opinion.
You're right.
So you go ahead. You can have your opinion. It's not going to be mine.
Did Devers celebrate his home run by admiring it?
Yes, obviously.
Okay. Do NFL players, when they go to the end zone and they celebrate, is that the same thing? They're celebrating, spiking the ball. They're doing their little dances. Is that celebrating?
It is celebrating.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the difference between celebration when Devers celebrates his own home run? Okay. Didn't point at Freeland.
Yeah.
And a guy scoring a touchdown after, let's say he ran it in and he ran through 3 guys. That guy is not turning around and pointing at all 3 and say, I got you. He's just spiking the ball. It's entertainment. He is celebrating. If you don't like the celebration, stop it. Stop the celebration. Don't let him hit a home run. Don't let him score. But again, the line of demarcation is this is professional sports.
Doesn't mean that you can't act respectfully. I don't think Devers acted respectfully. If it's an old school notion,
well, see, but that's
me,
what you're
fine.
coming back to. You're trying to couch it as in we want to be respectful, and I agree with that. But once you throw in the word tradition, like Bud Selig trashed the tradition of baseball and the record books by knowing that players were on PEDs. It was all about entertainment, wasn't it? I don't want to hear that bullshit about the tradition of baseball when the commissioner of baseball knew guys were jacking themselves up, chicks dig the long ball, television ratings are through the roof with McGuire and Sosa.
You're probably good with all the concussions and head injuries in football.
You would not find a media member more than me that was so against the NFL covering this up for years.
Right. I know.
Which is disgraceful. Listen, if you want to bring that into my kitchen, you and I have had this discussion before.
We sure have, right.
Okay, so it should not be listed as concussion on the injury report. It should be listed as brain injury, not concussion. A concussion is a brain injury. Throw brain injury up there. I think you picked the wrong example with concussions, as you know, and you've known me for a long time, when it comes to concussions. You brought that to the wrong person, because I think that players should be protected from themselves. NFL lied for years. Even if players knew they'd get
but you're
concussion.
sitting here, but you're giving me an example of Major League Baseball looking the other way with PEDs. Is it not similar with the National Football League looking the other way with brain injuries? I mean,
absolutely.
I think that there's at least some parallels there.
Bruce, all I'm saying is don't shovel a bucket full of shit down my throat about tradition in baseball when the commissioner single-handedly and knowingly helped rip up the record book for the home run chase.
That's a separate issue for me.
But that's tradition.
Discussion. Come on. Look, this is more not – I should have not used the word tradition because it gave you bait on the hook. Here's what I'm saying. Act respectfully. Act respectfully to your opponent. Act respectfully to the game. That's all I'm going to say. Comport yourself in a way that is respectful to all involved. That's it. Like I said, I wasn't on the field with Freeland and Devers yesterday, and I don't know if anything was said. I don't have a problem. I am much better now than I used to be about the whole bat flip thing and stuff like that. I've been pulled into the new millennium, and I understand that we live in a different day and age. There's still room for decency and respect in all sports, period. That's all I'll say.
Is it respectful when a guy celebrates in the end zone? Is it respectful when a cornerback picks off a pass, takes it to the 30-yard line of his opponent, and then all 11 guys congregate in the end zone to do poses? Is that respectful?
Celebration. It's the way the NFL is always. It's the way the NFL has evolved, and it's the way the NFL does it. I'm not ready to make a comparison. This is the same thing. I think it's a totally different thing. Baseball is a mano thing. Football is a team thing.
Hockey's the same way. The guys rush around the guy who scores the goal. That's a celebration. And these guys fight in games.
Yeah, these
guys fight in games. So what we're doing is we're saying you can celebrate here because this has been the history. Well, and you can't celebrate here because it's not part of our tradition.
You know what? Then celebrate at home plate. Get around the base paths and celebrate at home plate. At the end of a goal, which happens 5 or 6 times in a hockey game, if you want to celebrate by getting around the player that just did it, that's no problem with me. It's the end result of a play, and it's the goal, literally and figuratively, of the game that you're playing in. National Football League, same way. It ends a play. Then get around the base paths, touch home plate, and then do whatever you want to do. I don't care.
When a guy hits a walk-off home run and it's like a white sail at Penny's and the entire dugout empties to home plate and the guy is trotting down third base and then it's like he's playing a game of hopscotch and he's hopscotching to home plate and then everybody pats him on the head and everyone's jumping around. That to me,
you're so
that's celebration.
You're going to cherry pick that event, a game-winning event. I mean, seriously, in any sport, a game-winning event is going to be reacted to totally differently than something happening in game 121 of a baseball season. So, fine.
With that, I'm going to include baseball in this tease. We have talked way too much about the Rockies in the sport that they play because they suck. How's that? We just spent 25 minutes talking about an incident that happened in a game where the team is terrible, and I can't believe we spent 3 minutes on this, more or less 25.
Yeah, because it's not Hunter Goodman doing a bat flip and recognizing his home run. It's, of course, someone against the Rockies doing it. And look, I will say this, Kyle, it has been my experience with Kyle that he does have a little bit of a shorter fuse out there. He is very old school. There is no question about that. And I think also, and this is not meant to be making an excuses or spin. I would imagine that the frustration of this season is going to be telling. It already has been telling. There's a lot of reasons for it. It shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry that it did happen. But, hey, we move on. It was a hell of a home run, I'll tell you that much. Guy hit it about 470 feet.
And that's why he admired it. It's not like it was a line drive over the right field wall.
It was unbelievable.
It was worth admiring. Shit, Freeland should have admired it as well. I'm surprised that thing didn't have anything that, quoting from, Bull Durham, anything that flies that far should have a stewardess on it. Okay? But I want to go back. I want to go back to something that you said. Maybe it breaks from tradition that Devers admired his moonshot like all the people in the stands look pretty empty. So maybe, just maybe, Devers broke from what purists would say is tradition. But thankfully, the Rockies did not break from tradition by losing again. Coming up after the break, the depth chart, not the unofficial depth chart, that is the first one released, the official depth chart has been released by the Broncos as they get ready for their opener on Sunday against the Titans. Maybe a couple of surprises there.
Yeah, okay.
That's next. Everyone has their favorite sports bar. Mine, the Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch in the DTC. Both locations are everything a sports bar should be. An upscale menu with 12 different burgers, outstanding wings, and my favorite, the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. They've got every game on the NFL Sunday Ticket, MLB Extra Innings, NHL Center Ice, NBA League Pass, plus soccer, rugby, and UFC. Sportsbook is a hangout bar or great for private parties. The Sportsbook Bar and Grill in Highlands Ranch, the DTC, and coming soon to Parker. They are the sports bar.
Ferguson's Heating and Cooling is the best in Denver, and their customers agree. Ferguson's has 165 5-star Google reviews, and here's one from Betsy. Highly professional, prompt, and honest. I switched to Ferguson's when I became aware my former company was trying to sell me a whole new system I didn't need. Ferguson's is an honest, working, family-owned business that'll give you a fair price, the highest quality parts and equipment, and they always show up on time. You can trust the Ferguson family like you trust your own family. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Everyone has their favorite barbecue spot. Mine, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew. My favorites, slowly smoked ribs, smoked corned beef Reuben, smoked meatloaf with a portobello balsamic cream sauce. And don't forget about Smokin' Dave's 16-hour smoked brisket and pork with with one of their 4 homemade barbecue sauces. Great sides, you bet. Barbecue beans made with pork and brisket and their southern corn bake. Man, you got to try it. Plus, they have amazing non-barbecue entrees on the menu. Go where I go, Smokin' Dave's Barbecue and Brew in North Denver.
Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos in Blackhawk have another incredible promotion. They'll be giving away a Ford Maverick Tremor truck or over $25,000 in cash the weekend of October 24th. Daily cash drawings are every 45 minutes between 10 a.m. and midnight. Players can earn daily entries with every locked-up jackpot or by redeeming players' points on their players' cards. Sasquatch and Wildcard Casinos, loose slots, phenomenal promotions, great food, and a family-owned casino that treats you like family.
Spice up your next night out at Nola Jane and Lodo. Authentic Cajun cuisine like andouille sausage gumbo with dirty rice, crawfish etouffee, as well as 6 different po' boys like soft-shell crab and shrimp. Come in before or after a game at Ball Arena. Host a party or party on their rooftop deck overlooking Market Street during happy hour from 11 a.m. to 5. Plus, Nola Jane caters, delivers, and the kitchen is open late night. Make Nola Jane your new favorite spot to eat, drink, and party like it's Mardi Gras.
Ever wondered where city and county fleet vehicles go when they retire? Now's your chance to find out and score big. Imagine driving away with a great deal on a reliable vehicle. For over 45 years, Roller Auction has been the trusted source for government fleet vehicles and equipment. Trucks, SUVs, sedans, and more, all selling to the highest bidder. Don't miss out. Visit roller.bid/hot takes to get auction updates today. Your next vehicle could be just a click away.
And welcome back. Hot Takes, Goodman and Haertl. Want to tell you about Ferguson's Heating and Cooling, a family-owned business. As you can see, the S right here is all in a capital letter. It's Ferguson's because it is a family-run business, and they really do treat you like family. I know that seems like a throwaway line or a punch line. They really do, and I'm going to tell you why, because they don't sell you something that you don't need. How many times have you had somebody come over to your house and you know that they're going to fix something for you or maybe replace something for you, but they also hide as a salesman because that's what they're doing. They're trying to sell you something that you don't need. I've talked to Cody, the owner, before. He is the father, the Ferguson father, and he said to me, listen, I know we don't make money. We might even lose money when we go fix something because we've got to drive all the way out there, and it's man hours, right? It's much more beneficial if you sell them something instead of fixing something. He said, I'm more than happy to lose money on fixing something because I know I'm taking care of my customer. The customer is first there. And I say that wholeheartedly because I've gotten to know Cody and his wife, Dawn, and their boys. And that's just the way they operate. That is the type of company that you want to go with. Go to fergusonsheatingandcooling.com. Time now for What's Trending.
What's Trending is presented by Ferguson's Heating and Cooling. Your family should trust the Ferguson family for all your heating and cooling needs, and you'll see why they have over 165 5-star Google reviews. Make an appointment today at fergusonsheatingandcooling.com.
Okay, Broncos released their depth chart heading into the season opener against the Titans. Here are the highlights. J.K. Dobbins is your number 1 running back despite barely playing in the preseason. Marvin Mims, back at practice, he is the number 1 wide receiver with Sutton. And Jaquan McMillan apparently beat out Jahdae Barron at slot corner. Any of this surprise you?
No, not particularly. J.K. Dobbins makes sense when you stop to think about, first of all, ability.
Yep.
Second of all, experience.
Yep.
Third, and maybe most importantly, pass protection. So these are all things that are not surprising. But it doesn't mean that the reps aren't going to be. I think it'll be more interesting about who finishes and where and how the reps are split in that room. But we'll wait and see on that. I think Jahdae Barron will be used in multiple sub packages. We will see him on the field now wearing the number 23. Okay, Jaquan McMillan is your starting nickel, and your base package is probably 65% of the time now in nickel. So essentially he is a starter, but Jahdae Barron will play. That'll be another thing where you look to see where he plays, how he plays, and how many snaps he gets. And then as far as Marvin Mims, good. I mean, I think that we have a 3.5 receiver combo that I think that we understand are going to get a lot of looks, and they're going to get a lot. Now, targets, I don't know. I think that Evan Ingram and Cortland Sutton are going to be the most targeted guys. If I had to kind of just give me two guys real quickly, those would be the two guys that get the high level of targets. But I think that you're going to see, minus Evan Ingram, who I will give to the tight end room right now. Right. I think that you will see 3.5 receiver rotation, and I think it's going to be very interesting. So, really looking forward to Sunday for a lot of reasons, Eric.
Sean Payton has talked a lot, and rightfully so, about getting off to a fast start. First season, started off 0-2. Second season, started off 0-3. I think he has maybe not a valid excuse, but he can say, hey, listen, I was playing with Russell Wilson. I was working with Russell Wilson for the first time. He was a first-time quarterback in my system, despite having Hall of Fame credentials. Last year, got a rookie quarterback. Let's say they get off to a 2-0 start. Immediately, we will say they've gotten off to a fast start. But let's look at their next 3 games. At the Chargers, home against the Bengals, and then on the road against the Eagles. Haven't even included that trip to London, which is the next game against the Jets. Is a fast start. They win their first 2, win 1 of 2 against those other 3 teams I mentioned, either the Eagles, the Chargers, or the Bengals. Is a 3-2 start a fast start?
Well, a 3-1 start is, especially if you win in Los Angeles against the Chargers, a division game early. That's important. But yeah, I can see. I think that you're fine with 3-2, but it needs to be 4-2 when you get to the next one. I'm still good with the definition of a fast start being 4-2. 3-1,
3-3. Is 3-3 a fast start?
No, I don't think 3-3 is a fast start.
Is 3-2 a fast start?
It can be a fast start. Yes.
Well, yeah, because it depends on the next game. I get it. I'm just asking you simply, would you say they got off to a fast start if they're 3-2?
I would say if you win your first 3 games and then it goes to 3-2, you're still okay.
Yes, I agree with it. If you start 3-0,
I don't know. I mean, we're splitting hairs on this now. I mean,
yes, we are.
I think 3-1. Here's what I'm saying. 3-1 is a fast start. 3-2 is probably not the type of start that you would like to have, but you can live with it as long as you win the next one to get to 4-2. If you've got, because 4-2 is a pretty fast start. So I don't have a problem with it. No.
And you're right. It just depends. There's so many computations and permutations how you would get to 3-3.
Right.
You can start 3-0 and then lose your next 3.
Yeah, that's different.
Is that a fast start? You can lose your first 3 games, win your next 3, but hey, you're trending in the right direction. I'm just looking at the number, and I understand it's how the games are played out too. It's how they look in those wins, how they look in those losses. Listen, you could lose, you could start 3-0, lose your next 3, and those final 3, they all went to overtime and you lost on a field goal in overtime. Is that a fast start? You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right.
But it's what your record says you are.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how you got there.
Right. But last year's a really good example. I mean, the Broncos start slowly and then win a game impressively in Tampa, find a way to win a really ugly game in a monsoon in New York, and suddenly, 3-3 is looking a lot different having started 0-3, because now you've got a young quarterback that suddenly is starting to do things well. There is a different set of expectations. Here's the difference. This year, the expectations are there from Jump Street, and that does change things. Look, you can talk about, well, there's always internal expectations. And last year, I respect guys when they say there's always internal expectations. We always believe we want to win and we can win. Okay, but there's a difference from last year at this time to how we are all approaching the Broncos this year at this time. This is a football team that there are postseason aspirations. There are thoughts that with especially the defense that they have, that they can be a team that wins playoff games, doesn't get in by hook and crook at the end of the season, like frankly they did a year ago. That's not to diminish what they did. It was remarkable what they did, and should feel really good about it because it's a great place to build upon this season. But the expectations are totally different right now. And I would imagine internally as well as externally. We've already seen it.
I would like you to do me a favor.
Sure.
I would like you to help me take a trip and a stroll down memory lane. I can tell by that gray wall behind you that is a cubicle that belongs to the Fox 31 sports office, because I recognize the blinds over your shoulder as well.
You may have put them up. I mean, by the way, they still work. Nice job.
So am I mistaken that you are in the Fox 31 sports department?
I am in the Fox 31 sports department.
I left Fox 31 16 years ago. I did take a piece with me. This was on my office door. Now, you can make the case that I stole it. I just made the assumption that Fox 31 would not hire another sports director, main anchor by the name of Eric Goodman. I was probably doing them a favor by not having to clean this out themselves. I am curious to know, to your right used to be my office. Can you tilt your camera? I would like to see if it's still there. Give us a tour of the Fox 31 sports office, because for a lot of people, this is probably kind of cool.
Okay, let's see here. Is this the one that you're talking about right
Yes,
there?
that was my office. What's that now?
It is. That is a storage room.
That kind of sums up my career.
I was going to say, I'm glad you beat me to it.
Yeah, a bunch of garbage piled up into one room with absolutely no purpose whatsoever and can be thrown into the dumpster at any time. That pretty much sums up my entire career.
Well, I mean, you've got to have some form of legacy.
Well, look at me now. I'm doing a podcast with you. I've hit rock bottom, and then you're getting ready to retire, so now you're leaving me on my own.
Oh, hardly. I think that you'll have plenty of company.
All right, pal. Great job today, as always. This has been Hot Takes with Goodman and Haertl. Make it the best possible day you can.